Hello, my beautiful mystic hearts, and welcome to today's love reading. Okay, so I was getting the sense that you are feeling really love filled at the moment. So I think I'm feeling a sense of self love, is really what I'm getting as I'm sitting down to do this message. It's also the download that I was getting as I was preparing to do this reading today. So I think that you are really stepping into a period of self love, which means that you will have been on this healing journey for a little while. I'm getting that sense, and that you're really starting to very much develop this real sense of self love and self empowerment. So it will be very interesting to see where this reading actually takes us today. I have been called to get these pink cards today, so chances are I'm probably going to be tapping with the divine feminine. Typically, that's when I am called to get these cards, that's typically who I'm sitting down with to start with, and then we'll actually get into your divine masculine as well. So we'll tap firstly to divine feminine, just see where everything is with you at the moment, just to do very much a check-in. So it will be a check-in of divine feminine versus divine masculine today, and then just to see which, what guiding messages then come through. So let's get into it. All right, and just a little disclaimer as I'm losing all the cards, and just a little disclaimer as well. You could actually identify either with the divine feminine or the divine masculine. It really doesn't matter which kind of meat vessel you're in at all, so it's by no means gendered. I always feel like I have to say this before every reading, only because I will be referring to masculine, feminine, or him, her, but it just depends on really on what kind of veil you're wearing as to whether you're identifying with a divine masculine or a divine feminine healing journey, really. So whether you're a runner or a chaser also resonate as well. All right, so let's get into it. I'm not even going to look at these cards. I just want to get your energy into them. This beautiful main collective. So I just want to see what's around you at the moment, how you're seeing this connection. All right, this beautiful main collective, this beautiful main feminine collective. Okay, so I will split the deck here, and I'm just going to get what your overall ruling energy is at the moment. All right, so we've got a couple of things here. So we've got coffee cup, and then we've got healing heart. So I see, so coffee cup is typically my card, it's my message card, right? So it's typically your divine masculine reaching out to you. I think that this is something that you are currently waiting for. I don't think that this has come across your table yet. Like I said, I think you're very much focusing on healing your heart at the moment, and not just healing your heart, but really stepping into self-love is what I heard. So I think that this coffee cup is something that you've been really waiting for. It may have been some time since you've been waiting for this to come through. So like I said, that's really that message from the masculine to say, how are you? Let's meet up. Um, you know, typically it's more of a friendshipy type message as well, but it's definitely a communication coming through of some sort from this masculine. And I think that this is what you've been really waiting for quite some time. And I think that this is really what has pushed you into really healing your heart. So really trying to heal out of this heart space, this longing space that you've been in. And also as well, I'm just hearing also addictions as well. So addictions may have actually been playing a part in your life, and I've just heard that you're also healing out of that as well. Addictions could be a lot of things as well. For straight away, I was hearing addiction to food, and I was also hearing addiction to alcohol, but these could be sorts of addictions to really anything, really. It could also be gambling as well. Like substances, really, it could be addictions to a lot of things. But I think this is what you've been healing out. So you've been really waiting for this message to come through. Like I said, I'm not getting the feeling like anything's coming through yet. But as a result of this longing veil that you're currently in, feminines, then this is what has really provided you the opportunity to go through and heal this heart of yours. I also heard as well, breaking free from toxic relationships. So I think that you have been working on self-love, self-empowerment, which is then allowing you to break free from these toxic relationships. So not necessarily just romantic relationships, but also in your friendships, in your working relationships. I'm hearing also in family relationships as well. So I think this is really what you've been working on, which is beautiful, really beautiful energy. All right, so let's just get your top row here. And then, like I said, I feel like we'll start off with these cards, and then we'll just to confirm that this is you, that this is your collective. And then we will really get into the person on your mind, into your masculine. All right, so we've got, as your top row, we've got engagement ring. We've got girl talk. We've got Cupid's arrow. Just 2 more, please. Heartbroken. Oh, that's way too many. Just 1 more, please, just for the top row spirit. Just 1 more. There we go. Last one, the snake. Okay, interesting. All right, so this is the top row. I will get further cards to confirm these, but if we're starting out here, so we've got the engagement ring, so partnership, eternity, completion, then union. I'm hearing a couple of things for this. So you may have in fact been engaged to this person, or there could have been discussion of a serious commitment between the two of you before you were then put into separation. Also, I'm hearing that this person may have also been engaged, potentially may have been engaged to somebody else, is what I'm hearing. Or you might have been engaged to somebody else as well when you, at the time that you actually met your masculine. But I definitely think that there was serious commitment talked about here between the two of you, as I said before, you were then put into separation. I think that this is something that really plays on your mind a lot, feminines. I think that this is something that you probably are still hoping for. Is this serious commitment between the two of you? And ultimately that you will be brought back into union again. I think that, like I said, I think that it's been some time between between communication is what I'm looking for. I'm just seeing that coffee cup again. As I know that this is really you wanting that message to come through, wanting it to ultimately lead into into that partnership, that long-term commitment. But I just think that things have been put on pause. Things have been put on hold while you're both going through your healing journeys, which would make sense, right? Because definitely, I think you are going to be identifying either with the divine feminine, divine masculine counterpart journey, whether that be a soulmate connection or a twin flame type connection as well. But I definitely think that this is something that you have gone over. However, I do feel that given the time that has been here between the two of you, I think that you really are trying to get out there now. Like I said, I'm just getting this real loved, filled feeling. So I think that you are definitely trying to get out. You're trying to frame this separation differently, is what I was just hearing. So, you're trying to get back out there, having fun. Not necessarily dating. I don't feel like you are dating as such, but I think you're just trying to get out there. I feel like you may have been in a bit of a funk in the last little while, and you're just trying to really just get back out there, reframe this connection between the two of you. I'm just hearing family gatherings as well. So really just, just trying to just get back out there, just have a bit of a new lease on life is what I'm hearing. I don't necessarily think that you're moving on, as it's more you're just trying to reframe this separation. And that I'm also hearing that you're understanding that all things have to happen for a reason, and that you guys were put into separation for a very good reason, and that both of you had some serious scarring to deal with, emotional scarring, some real heavy shadow work that had to be done. And I think that that's what you have been using this time to do, and it's allowing you to really reframe this separation between the two of you. We've then got Cupid's arrow, so have faith, love is coming. Like I said, I think that this is you reframing this, is that you're no longer trying to really crave this person. I think you were trying to really just let go and just really trust in divine timing is what I think you're trying to do. So really have faith. But love is coming. You know that when the time is right, that the masculine will reach out to you, and that there will be, you know, the invitation of a meeting. But at the moment, there is hesitation here at the moment, and that will be, like I said, I think you're really trying to just let go of that, really just trying to reframe your heartbreak, right? Because I do think that there was a lot of heartbreak left here when this masculine did ultimately leave. I just heard that straight away. And just to confirm, so you guys are in separation. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think that you have been in contact for quite a while. I think that there has been some time here between communications, which really did leave you heartbroken. I'm hearing that this also left the masculine has also been heartbroken as a result of this as well. But definitely for the feminines, I do think that that it was a very traumatic separation, and that you have spent quite some time grieving the loss here is what I'm hearing. But like I said, I definitely think you're trying to reframe this, and this reframing of this situation is coming because of your ability now to just really love, to really self-love. I just keep coming back to that word. I'm also seeing my self-love card as well. But yes, I just think that this has happened as a result of this amazing healing journey that you've been on. And then we've got the snake. So competition, enemy, clever, the other woman. I think that this really speaks to some of the reflection that you've been doing on as to the reasons as to why you guys actually separated. I do think that you have a feeling that there was a snake here that really interfered into the relationship, and that ultimately led to the separation between the two of you. So whether that be a third party, like as in a romantic type relationship, or if this was, I'm also hearing family as well, like some sort of serious family or friendship interference here. But I definitely think that this snake energy is really what ultimately led to the separation between the two of you. And like I said, either you would intuitively know this, or you would actually really have actual hard evidence here that there was a third party interference here. All right, so let's keep going. So we've got engagement ring. Oh, that's way too many. But I will say that the first card, I'm not going to take it because it's just way too many cards. But clearly this wants to pop out. So we do have the twin flame card here. Which means that you guys would have met each other in a very broken time in your lives. You really literally would have been broken. And also I'm hearing that it was very serendipitous when you guys met, and that just as quickly as you guys met each other, you were quickly separated as well, which means I'm hearing that it was quite a short-lived romance as well. When you guys were first brought into union for the very first time, I'm hearing that it was that it was definitely some time here. Oh, so sorry. So at the time that you guys were brought into union, that you guys really were broken. But like I said, you've been really using this time to really heal out that shadow, really deep shadow work here. But then we've got mask. So mask has come up straight under engagement ring. So not showing true feelings, personify, pretend, diluted gaslighting. So I think that there really was discussion here of engagement. I think that you or of a deep commitment, of a very serious commitment. But like I said, just as quickly as you guys were brought together, I think you were very quickly separated again. And I think now you're thinking that this masculine has his mask on at the moment. right? They have their mask on, that they're not showing their true feelings about this, that I think that you truly still believe that this is still on this masculine's mind, that he also sees you as his twin flame, but that masculine is really holding their cards very close to their chest here, that they're really not showing you how they're feeling. I'm also hearing as well that this is also the mask or shadow work that both of you have been doing here. I think that you are mirroring each other in that regard. But like I said, we will break down into the masculine. All right, so then we've got girl talk. So this is you trying to, obviously, to get out, just reframe this separation now. And then we've got unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion. I do think that you still feel a lot of love for this masculine, but I'm really being drawn here to that self-love card, right? So the fact that it's come up under girl talk as well is just confirming exactly what I was picking up on. So you really are trying to get out there, really stepping into to unconditional love. But I'm hearing unconditional love for yourself for the very first time. I'm also hearing this too, which is might sound a little bit odd, but it will make sense for the right collective, is that I'm hearing self-talk as well. I think you tend to be very hard on yourself. You have a lot of negative self-talk. And I think that's something you're really starting to work on as well. So that will really resonate with whoever this collective is for. You're really working on the way that you are speaking with yourself, that inner dialogue. Also, too, I'm hearing that for this Cupid's arrow, this is also Cupid's arrow for yourself as well. I just heard that. And then we've got butterfly. So Cupid's arrow. But then we've got butterfly. So relationship of evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child growth. So beautiful that this would come up under that card, because, you know, the butterfly is all around metamorphosis. You know, it's that real inner shadow work, that real inner healing, very much examining that inner child. You know, and also to that would confirm then is what I was picking up there is around, you know, self-love, self-talk, how that inner dialogue, how you speak with your inner child as well. So I think that that's what you've been really working on, really focusing on. You are the butterfly, that real butterfly energy. You're also hoping, though, that under this Cupid's arrow is that your relationship will then also be the butterfly, that you guys really will evolve here. So, you know, that you guys will then ultimately come back into union, you know, after you've healed sufficiently enough to be able to be brought back into union. But really, you know, hoping that, you know, that this relationship does evolve to that next point. Like I said, I just think there's a lot of inner child work that's been done here. Also, just a reminder too, that if you truly do identify with that twin flame connection, and I will say that because the twin flame card actually did come through, that you guys are connected, always connected through, you know, in through spirit. You guys have always connected, and the healing that you do actually does flow back through to your masculine as well. For some reason, I'm just being told to remind you of that. So the more you heal, the more your masculine will heal. We've then got Dragonfly, right? So we've got two cards, one after the other, all around metamorphosis. So both of these cards are about inner healing, right? And adapting change. They're both, you know, both cards. You could also really resonate with dragonflies and butterflies as well. Why did I hear you might actually have a butterfly tattoo or a dragonfly tattoo, or maybe both? Dragonflies are definitely, as you can see here, dragonflies are definitely one of my spirit animals as well. So I think you could really resonate with that. But both of these animals start out, you know, as these, you know, as one is a caterpillar, one is this little gnat, and then they eventually grow through into these beautiful winged animals, insects. But yeah, I think that you really do identify with this, and you really are healing on from your heartbreak, also healing out from addictions, really being able to set boundaries as well. I just heard that for the first time. And look, as I say that, we've got axe, so stopping the pattern, right? As well. So the axis in this deck for me is very much around just really getting rid of those karmic cycles, karmic relationships out of your life, really healing through it. All right, so then we've got the snake. Like I said, I think that there was third-party interference here. That will resonate for whoever this reading is for. I do definitely think that there was third-party interference of some sort. Like I said, I don't know if this is necessarily romantic, though I was hearing friends and family and or family. It could have been romantic, though. But I think this is part of this heartbreak that you are. As I just... All right, but then we've got the abundance card. So you're healing, so keeping a positive mindset, manifesting exactly what you want, gratitude, bliss. That card actually flew out of the deck. So I think despite this third party interference, this is what you're doing, right? You're really trying to keep a positive mindset about it, trying to show gratitude for your life as well. You also could be stepping into a really abundant period as well, but I'm just hearing you just moving on from this. So I think that you are just forgiving and letting go of whatever this third party interference was. You're just moving past it, and you're moving into a much more positive mindset about it, moving into really an abundant period. This might not necessarily be just in your relationships, although I definitely think you are stepping into a very abundant period, both with the relationship with yourself and those around you, but also you could be stepping into quite like your pentacle path. Like you might actually be stepping into quite an abundant period as well. The fact that would actually come up under the snake. So look, that third party interference may have actually interfered with your abundant path. I just heard that as well. Maybe not for all of you, but for some of you, maybe this third party actually had an effect on your abundance. And I think that this is really, you're moving past this now. That's what I'm hearing. All right, beautiful. Okay, so that's a really beautiful energy that you're in at the moment. So I just feel like I just need to get straight into the masculine. So you'll know pretty much now, really, if you're resonating with that, if this is going to be your reading or not. So let's get into it. I just want to get straight into your masculine. I would normally get like a tarot deck now, and I will do, but I just feel like I just want to get straight, as I said, straight into the masculine. So let's do it. All right, what am I going to get? I want to get some animal cards, actually. It's the deck that I want to get. I want to see, I'll be referring to the book, so Beasts of Albion, the guidebook. But I just want to see what is around your masculine at the moment, how your masculine is seeing this connection. And then, yeah, we'll get into it. So, just going to bring that out again. So I just want to see it's really what's around your masculine at the moment. How is your masculine seeing this connection? How is the masculine seeing this connection? All right, I'm just going to shuffle these cards. So you get the masculine energy through these. Oh, that was the eagle, actually, that tried to flip over there. But here we go. All right, so that's interesting. Actually, when I first split the deck, I was told don't look at the deck when you split it. So I didn't, but I did actually have a quick sneaky peek. But that is, I don't know if you can see it, but the boar actually came out anyway. So this is the first card for the masculine. So the number 4 as well. Why did I hear born in the year of the pig? So that might actually really resonate with the masculine that you're dealing with, or you might be born in the year of the pig as well. I know that's some sort of Chinese astrology, I believe. But yeah, but number 4, that could really resonate with you as well. Why am I seeing these scissors here as well? This is going to sound really random, but it looks this is going to sound really random. But I can see scissors and what looks like a comb. Maybe hairdressing or barber could. I know this is sound really random, but that could really resonate with you. Either you're a hairdresser or the masculine's a barber or something to do with that. Anyway, really random, and I know, but that'll. The other thing as well is going to say number 4. That's actually divine masculine energy as well. The number 4, so that's Emperor energy. So let's see what this is. Let's see. Oh, we'll get there. Sorry for that. Okay, so the boar represents strength of character to advance, either in pursuit of some goal or in making others see your point of view. It can mean a bold and daring attitude towards life. So this really is Emperor energy, but also comes with a warning of potential for destruction. The boar places great importance on truth and directness and will not suffer fools gladly. So I have a feeling that you know about this very much about your masculine as well. So I think that he is also a truth seeker. He can be very direct and doesn't suffer fools gladly. So your masculine, so that will really resonate with whoever's reading this is your masculine. I'm also getting he's a real. I will say this for fear of this being gendered, right? But I just heard it straight away, so I'm just going to say it. But a real man's man is what I'm hearing. So, like I said, I don't mean this to be gendered, but I heard that, so I'm going to say it. Potentially, it could be a feminine who is quite masculine as well. I'm hearing that as well. I'm hearing 2 things. I'm hearing that whoever this masculine is, regardless of the meat vessel that this masculine walks life in, I just feel that they're a very strong character, which, or could also, I'm hearing, can be both negative and positive as well. So my feminines, this could actually be something that you guys had conflict over as well. Yeah, but anyway, I regress. Okay, let me get back to it. So the boar places great importance on truth and directness and will not suffer fools gladly. All right. So the boar teaches us physical challenges in life. By hunting him, you overcome obstacles in your life, thereby gaining the strength, confidence, and wisdom to take treasures of knowledge and transform between the ears. All right, so I'm hearing maturity straight away is what I'm hearing. So I think that your masculine probably was quite an immature type energy when you met this masculine. But as a result of meeting you, I think that they have really stepped up. And that there's a lot of maturity that has happened here as a result of the connection with you. I think that you ended up mirroring back to this masculine, and you would have memories of this, but mirroring back to this masculine, those areas where really this masculine needed to step up. I'm just hearing the word step up, and I think that did really cause quite a bit of conflict here, which probably ultimately was one of the reasons why you guys ultimately separated. But this is really being worked on at the moment, and I think the masculine knows that without you and without the strength that you had as well to really call this out, is that this masculine never would have been able to step into this energy. This really is Emperor energy is what I'm feeling. It's a very strong energy. I think that maybe it was Emperor in reverse when you guys met. And I'm just hearing, so I'm also hearing possessive as well. So it could have been really in that Emperor in reverse energy. So really quite possessive. really, very non-compassionate, quite jealous, that kind of real Emperor in reverse energy, unable to take the lead very well. Um, but I'm just hearing that the Emperor, that this energy has gone from in the reverse to in the upright, is what I'm hearing, which is really beautiful. It'll be very interesting to see what the tarot has to say. But if this is actually the current energy of your masculine, it's very interesting. All right, so number 4. All right, what else have we got here? All right, we've actually got a couple here, so I'll take 2. I was only going to take 3, and I do believe that these are the 3. So we've got the spider, and then we've got the dolphin as well. So the dolphin's actually a really beautiful card, but we've got the number 12 and number 27 as well. So I'm hearing the 4th of the 12th, 12th of the 4th as well. Also 27 could be an important number as well. Let's get spider energy. Whenever I look at this card as well, I always see the different, to me, they look like crystals. I obviously wear a lot of crystals as well, but the amethyst, and I always see the crystals here. So crystals could really resonate with you. I'm also always see this cross here as well. So you actually might wear a cross, or your masculine might wear a cross. I'm hearing tattoo as well. You might actually have a tattoo of a cross as well, but I think that that's quite important message. But okay, let's get into it. So the spider, number 12. Okay. Oh, okay. Actually, help if I actually get to the right page. All right. So the spider represents creativity on all levels. The creature of arts and craft, of new paths and patterns in life, or of new life itself through children. It may represent the ability to know the best time to start, maintain, or end particular parts of your life, or may signify a feeling for purpose or destiny. The spider is in charge of its own life, creating its own patterns and paths. All right, I'm getting a couple of things for this. So there's definitely serious shadow work that this masculine has been working on through, the web of his life. I just heard, or this masculine, I keep saying him, but the masculine, working through the web of their life is what I'm hearing. I'm also just seeing the spider, how it just spends hours, just making its home, just really working on its web. And I'm hearing that this is what this masculine is doing, is that they're working on their web, they're working on their little home, on their stability in their life, is what I'm hearing. But definitely a lot of shadow work has been done here, which is what that spider really represents. I just think that there's just a lot of real deep introspection that's happened here as well. And the other thing that this card speaks to is around, I keep hearing shadow work, but also on mission work as well. So I'm straight away seeing the judgment card as well. So that real call to action. I do believe that this masculine has had a call to action and called into his destiny, which is what that judgment card is all about. Also too, I'm hearing children as well. So children actually came up in that in that card as well. So I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. I think the children played a part in this as well. You may have shared a pregnancy. I know this might sound a bit random, but you may have actually shared a pregnancy, or children could have been something that you guys spoke about as well. But I just feel like this masculine there's just been a lot of introspection work done here, and he's just really working on his web. It's like a real worker's kind of cudgel, that web of life. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain what I'm visually seeing. So I hope I will resonate with the right person. That will resonate for whoever this reading's for. Really beautiful energy. So if you did actually have any doubts about this masculine or the journey that he's on, I'm being told that you shouldn't be doubting it. You may be further ahead in your journey than what this masculine is, and that would be pretty typical because the feminine does typically lead the way, just purely through the nature of the veils that you wear. But I'm just hearing have faith. The masculine is on his journey. He is activated. He is examining his shadow. All right, and then the number 27. So we've got the dolphin card. This is always such a beautiful card. And straight away, I always see the cup first, right? I just see this as such a love-filled card when it comes through. Dolphins may also really resonate with you. They're a highly intelligent card as well. So you think you might actually see this masculine as highly intelligent. It's quite a random. I don't know if I've ever said that for this card before, but also the cups, right? So it's a very emotion-filled card, this one. But also you might be dealing with a water sign. So I heard Scorpio straight away, but it also could be Cancer or Pisces as well. But yeah, I do. It could be a water sign. You could also be a water sign as well. But also it's just the energy of water. So just very emotional. A lot of emotion here with this masculine. So I just want to say this as well, that if we've actually got the Emperor, so that real, the Emperor and the upright now, you know, this masculine is examining this shadow. They're actually stepping into their Emperor energy. And then we've also got the emotion card here as well. So which means that they're learning to balance between the yin and the yang, which is really beautiful, that they're learning how to balance their masculine and feminine. So it's not just all about being, you know, that real masculine energy, but it's also being that feminine energy as well, that real emotion as well. I'm just hearing, which is very beautiful. So 27. Right, so the dolphin represents emotional sensitivity and a deep feeling for people, although this may manifest in wearing the heart on their sleeve. It can also symbolize the ability to listen and act on inner feelings, or it may signify the importance of interaction with others and self-fulfillment this can bring. The dolphin, a lover of life, cares deeply about people, other animals, and the environment. I'm also hearing that this is how this masculine sees you as well, right? So it is a very love-filled card, you know, the dolphin. And for fear of repeating myself, like I said, I just think that this masculine, I'm just hearing as well a real lover of animals, this masculine, which you would know about this person. You guys might have even shared animals as well. I'm hearing kids or animals, or definitely animals, maybe a dog or some animals. I think maybe you shared, or you had just a shared love of animals is what I'm hearing. But this is just a very emotional card. And I think that this is the first time that this masculine has probably felt comfortable actually feeling emotion as well, which means that this masculine will have been on their healing journey for quite some time as well, if they are stepping into that real balance, you know, that real balance between the masculine and the feminine. And you even have here, you know, that real masculine feminine energy, you know, which is then connected in the middle with that web, right, with that beautiful spider's web that the masculine has been working on, which means union might be not too far away with you guys. I want to actually see what I want to get some picture cards next and actually see, just drill down a little bit further into where this masculine is with this connection. But this is really beautiful energy. Excellent. Okay, so let's get then some picture cards. Like I said, I want to get some picture cards and just see what is around this masculine. what's happening with this connection. And then we'll get the tarot. So that's really the healing journey, what this masculine's been working on. I just want to see how this masculine is really feeling toward this connection. What's going on? All right. So I split the deck straight on, the X and then pictures. So you are both mirroring this, right? Is that love triangle, which is that girl with the snake card that we got in that very first deck. I think that you were made, I think we're just confirming this here, is your masculine made you very much feel like you were in a love triangle. I think that there are deep regrets here with looking at pictures, so reminiscing, missing you. I think you're both mirroring each other in this regard. I think you're both reminiscing on the way that you guys separated here. You're moving into a time of abundance, right? So you feminines are actually moving away from that energy. You're moving, letting it go, forgiving, and then moving on. And just, I wouldn't say, it's interesting. I'm hearing forgive but never forget is what I'm hearing. So I think that you were definitely learning how to put up healthy boundaries for this, but I think you were trying to reframe the emotion that you have felt so long about that. But this is what this masculine is going over. I think that this had, like I said, a major impact in you guys separating, and your masculine is regretting this. Like, this is what he's reminiscing, and so, which means you're both sharing that same energy. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, let's keep going here. Oh, that's my ring's getting caught. All right, so I'm just going to get a top row here. What's happening with this masculine? All right, how many cards? Okay, that's actually, it's more than enough for a top row. Okay, let's see what we've got. All right, so straight away, we've got 111, so twin flame. So you are both mirroring this. You both see each other as your twin flame, and you've both been locked into this runner-chaser dynamic. As I said, though, you were trying to both reframe the separation, the heartache, the pain that's been here between the two of you. We've then got self-love, spotlight, we had determined, avoidance, and I'm going to put this actually under here. I'm going to put this infatuation under here, and then we'll get a few more cards just to confirm this, right? But just your top row. So as we've said, so you both see each other as, the card actually came out for both of you, twin flames. So you are mirroring each other with this. You definitely both see each other as your divine counterpart. But I think you are both really trusting in divine timing here, which, like I said, I'm kind of, given what this masculine has been working on, really balancing out his, that real masculine, feminine energy, that real yin yang energy, then, like I said, I think that maybe you had intuition about, about that coffee cup, about communication coming. It might not actually be so far away. You're both mirroring this, the self-love, right? So you're both taking back control. You are both stepping into your internal power. You're really, that's such beautiful energy for both of you. Like I said, I think you're really, really mirroring each other here, really closing out karmic cycles as well. But red roses, so red roses could really resonate with this main collective here. Either, I just keep seeing as well as masculine with this big bunch of red roses. So he may even show up at your doorstep with a big bunch of red roses, or the masculine might show up at your door with a big bunch of red roses, red flowers of some sort. But you're both moving into this self-love. We've then got limelight audience. It does say self-absorbed here. I always get a few things that come through that come through as a download whenever I see this card. I always see music as well, so I'm going to call it out. So I think that music actually plays a big part here. You might actually find each other in music a lot. So there could be some music that you guys shared that really resonate with the two of you. I think that you guys have really shared songs here. I think that you find each other in music. But also this is around the limelight. So either this person or both of you actually were in the limelight. I'm straight away just seeing an audience here. So maybe you're online yourself. Maybe this masculine's online in some way, but I think that you do have an audience of some sort. But also, as well, that when I see the spotlight card, it's always shining a light on your shadows, right? Which is what's happening. So very much so. It says self-absorbed. Yes, probably the masculine was quite self-absorbed when you guys were first brought into alignment, first brought into connection. But I think that this is really part of that introspection, that spotlight that is being put on the masculine. He's actually doing that introspection, actually looking inwards with a spotlight on the masculine self. I want to say himself, but I feel like on themselves. Yeah, just really working through that shadow is what I'm hearing. You know, walking from the shadows into the light. Also bird cages. I've never really seen this before, but I've just seen the two cages here. So maybe you own birds as well. I thought it's a really random thought that came into my mind. But here we go. So we've got persistence, still holding on flowers. All right. So definitely, you guys, if you weren't engaged, and I think that there was absolutely discussion here about engagement, which is funny because I definitely think that this was a very short-lived romance. I think just as quickly as you guys were brought together, I think that you were separated, which means that the masculine probably made promises here that they could never actually come through with at the time. However, I do think that they are definitely still holding on to this. I think that this was spoken about, and you guys, I mean, because you're mirroring this, right? Because we've got the wedding rings as well, the engagement rings. You got that in your first deck as well. So definitely that is what was spoken about here. Once again, we've got roses. So I definitely think that roses are really relevant here for this collective. But this is something that is still on the masculine's mind. They've never forgotten about this. And that ultimately, you know, they see you as a twin flame, the person on the end of their red thread. And ultimately, you know, this is what this masculine wants with you. But they have been in avoidance. They have been the runner, right? And you got this as well. You also got this in your deck as well. So the mask, right? That's that mask card. They have been in hiding. They have been feeling guilty. There has been no communication between the two of you. And the masculine, this is very much on the masculine's mind, but they have been hiding, right? They have had their mask on. But underneath it all, you guys are actually basically got the same cards here. Underneath it, then they are still thinking about this commitment that was promised here, though. We've then got infatuation, so obsession, attraction. So the did came out. I then deliberately put it under that twin flame card. That's where I felt that belonged. Totally makes sense, right? Is that infatuation card would belong under that twin flame card. I think that you are never, ever far from this masculine's mind. But I just think that there's a lot of healing here that had to take place. You know, but you were both stepping into that self-love. The masculine has to step into their divine masculine energy, into that emperor energy before you guys can come back into alignment. All right, so self-love. Then we've had spiritual attack. Okay, so this is more around karma, divine intervention, facing their demons. So exactly what has happened with you has happened, with this masculine, is that this masculine is really being called into letting go of karmic situations here. Really, divine intervention has been at play here. And the fact that this has come up under self-love. So this is really what has been pushing this masculine into self-love for the first time, is the fact that the masculine has really had to deal with a lot of karmic situations. That, that I'm seeing that girl with the snake card. This is what this masculine has been working on to really clear out. Also, too, what will happen with the masculine is typically they will have their running boots on. They'll have the avoidant veil, the avoidance, when you guys are first brought into union. So you'll highlight to this masculine all of those areas, really, that the masculine has been avoiding in healing out. You actually highlight all of that, just as the masculine does for you, but you highlight that for the masculine. The only coping mechanism the masculine knows in order to deal with this, this triggering, is to go into avoidance. It's the only coping mechanism they have. I feel like the masculine is moving past this now. I think that he's developing a much more healthier emotional balance, I think, is the right way to heal it and to hear it. But what happens though is that because the masculine just goes straight into avoidance, and so that's really why they end up then ghosting you and they just poof, they're gone, is that their spirit team will then put a series of karmic relationships. So they really intervene and put a series of karmic relationships, karmic situationships in front of this masculine has to deal with, which then pushes them finally into, it takes a little while, but eventually pushes them into dealing with their own shadow. But they will avoid it for quite a while. They really will. But this is what this divine intervention is about. And then finally facing their demons, finally actually looking into their shadow, which then, then brings about self-love. All right, so spotlight. Gosh, they're being picky. Spotlight, please. What's this one? Oh, but then we've got, that's interesting. So temptations, I'm going to have to put something across this. So temptations, always busy, kept you waiting. So this is that self-absorbedness that the spotlight is on, that the masculine is currently dealing with, right? Is that, always busy, keeping you waiting, that they really were quite self-absorbed, that there were always other priorities in front of you. That really, and I just think not just in front of you, I think that this is just this masculine's, or was this masculine's, MO, just throughout their entire life, that the more distractions that they have in front of themselves, this could be all sorts of things, right? Addictions, all sorts of different things, that just keeps them distracted, keeps them from really having to look inwards. Work as well. Work's always another really good distraction. This masculine really could have been I'm hearing a workaholic as well. Also, I'm seeing a lot of tattoos as well. So I'm just seeing this heart here as well. So you could have a heart. I'm just seeing a lot of tattoos. I don't know why. I don't know if I've ever said this in my readings, but I just keep seeing a lot of tattoos. So maybe you've got quite a lot of tattoos. Maybe your masculine has a lot of tattoos around them as well. But a heart tattoo, maybe that's also significant. But yeah, I just think that this is what this masculine is focusing on, right? Is all of these temptations, all of these distractions that he's kept in his life, all of these karmic situations. All right, so determined. Oh, but yeah, okay, so they confirm. So but broken mirrors, so addictions, roller coaster, toxic connection. All right, which just confirms exactly what we were saying. So yes, the masculine made promises here that were never able to be fulfilled. I think that at the time the masculine probably believed it, but it just wasn't possible. You guys really were broken mirrors, and I don't think that either of you were in a position for this to be able to ever happen. And you would know that at the time. I think that it was very, very heartbreaking at the time, but I think that now that you've been so far in your healing journey as well, you've been really healing out your shadow. I think that you look back at that time that you guys met and you think, wow, like we really were two broken mirrors when we met each other, which is what happens with divine counterparts, especially twin flames, is that you do meet each other when you're completely broken. Both of you really are broken mirrors. And so I think that you know, as well as the masculine knows, is that neither of you are in a position to have this long-term commitment. Like it wasn't, and there were a lot of addictions here. I also think that at the time, you guys probably was quite toxic between the two of you. All right, so we've got avoidance. But we've got planning. So planning a text, phone call, meetup. So that means, and when we've got guidance on the bottom here as well, so I always see this as like that card of like reaching out to friends. I always see this as like my 3 of Pentacles card as well. But faith, healing, intuition, dreams. You might also be having intuition dreams, but I definitely think you've had intuition about this planning, this phone call, text, meeting up. You've been waiting for this for quite a while. You really have. I'm going to get next steps here, but these cards are just confirming each other. You've also could have just had a dream about this person. I think that you guys are actually dreaming about each other. But this is also talking about the distance as well. So I'm going to actually pull this card. But yeah, so phone call, planning, under this avoidance, actually coming out of those shadows, taking the mask off and coming through. Also, and closing this distance between the two of you. Also, whenever I see this card, I always see motorbikes here. So motorbikes could also be quite relevant for this collective as well. All right. Okay. So that's what's going on around your masculine with this connection. So let's get the tarot, because I really want to see next steps for this connection, but I also want to see what your spirit teams want you to know about this connection. So maybe let's ask that question first. Actually, we can do both. I feel like we can do both. Let's get the tarot. I want to see the next steps for this connection, but what your spirit team wants you to know about this connection with regard to next steps, if that makes sense. Right, so this will be what your spirit teams want you to know about these next steps. I'm just getting your connection here. Okay, getting your energy into these cards. Thank you. All right, just going to read that out again. Also, if you can hear my dog snoring in the background, you can hear some funny noises. That's my dog. She likes to sit not too far from my feet whenever I'm doing readings. And she is snoring her head off at the moment. So dogs could actually really resonate for you, to be honest. I keep coming back to animals as well. Your love of animals, your masculine's love of animals, that's come through a couple of times now. I'm talking about my dog. So I definitely think that animals play a big part here in this connection as well. My dog's a Cocker Spaniel as well. So if that resonates with anyone. But here we go. All right, so I'm just going to split the deck, and I just want to see the overall ruling energy here. The overall ruling message Okay, that's way, way, way too many. I can't take all of those. Way too many. Gosh, okay, there's a lot that wants to be said here. So let's see what's next for this beautiful connection. No, too many. See that nothing's edited here on this channel. It's just straight from source to me to you. Okay, so I've got 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I am actually going to take that, which speaks to blockers and things, but let's see. All right. Okay, well, this is actually beautiful energy. All right, so we've split the deck so straight on. So this is next steps between the two of you. So really what your teams want you to know about what's next for this connection. So it says really about, this is the Temperance card, so very much around finding balance. So I think that the two of you, this connection, you're about to really step into balance with each other, which is really beautiful. And that's your overall ruling energy, which means that both of you are starting to step into balance, not just with each other, but that would mean in your lives as well. So I think that both of you are coming from a very temperate phase in your life, which is really beautiful, which it just confirms everything we're talking about, right? So the balance between masculine and feminine, yin, yang, and just overall balance in your lives. And that's coming after the we've actually got the Four of Cups here. So the Four of Cups is it's a blocking card, right? So it's around the universe really trying to present something, but you're so focused on other things that you're just not seeing really what's in front of you. You really can't see what this beautiful thing that the universe is trying to grant you with the Four of Cups. So in the traditional deck, you've got that person sitting there on the bank of the river. This offer is trying to come through to this person, but they're just unable to see it. They're so distracted with other things, and really just in deep sorrow, feeling sorry for themselves as well. So I think that that's really, I think maybe for the both of you, there's been quite a lot of blocking here in this connection, which is what that card speaks to, but we're really moving into a time of temperance now. So you're moving out of this Four of Cups energy really into a really beautiful balanced energy with each other. Gosh, all right. Okay, so we'll get the top row here, and then we'll get a couple of confirming cards. We've got 10-10 here. This is very interesting. So we've got 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, both in the reverse though. So 10-10 is also world energy as well. So it's really about stepping into new cycles. You could actually be also seeing a lot of 10-10s as well. That's way too many cards. 3 more cards, please. These have all come out in the reverse. Very interesting. I will take them as all in reverse. I'm being told they are all in reverse. I just had to double check that. I'm like, are you sure? Yes, these are all in reverse. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out in the confirming. We've got a lot of blockers here. We've had a lot of blockers, right? So this is current energy is around the 10 of Pentacles, and this is all around next step. So 10 of Pentacles is there really has been blocking here as I'm wrecking everything here. But 10 of Pentacles, so that's very much, that white picket fence card. You've got the family with the dogs. The dogs have come up again in the traditional deck, so I definitely think dogs are very relevant here. But that's been in the reverse, so it means you guys have really not been able to step into this new cycle, which is very much backed up here or confirmed here with this 10 of Pentacles. the 10 of Cups, but in reverse. So the 10 of Cups is all around, you know, that the emotional fulfillment. And I think for a long time here, you guys have not had emotional fulfillment. This has been a real blocker here. The fact that I don't think that either of you had emotional fulfillment either in your lives, and definitely not with each other either. But this is, like I said, this is all what you guys are healing out of. So a lot of shadow work here to really move yourselves out of this. We've then got, that's the Strength card, but this is in reverse, right? So all of this emotional and, you know, I'm also hearing as well, there could have actually been financial struggle here as well. Finances could have also played a key role, or a lack of finances could have also played a key role with this. But a lot of that is then led into your, to a lot of lack of strength, or there was a lot of lack of strength here. But you're moving out of this, right? I definitely just getting this sense that this is really this old energy that you're both really just moving out from. Because then we've got this, the Three of Wands, but the Three of Wands again in reverse. So the Three of Wands is really around closing that gap, right? Closing the distance between the two of you, waiting for your ships to come in. It's also around planning next steps as well. But the fact that this has been in reverse, so really what this is saying to me is that because of this lack of emotional, potentially pentacle blockers as well, because that then led into this lack of strength, that this then really has led into this distance between the two of you, that you have not been able to close this distance, that you have not been able to come together up until this point. But like I said, this is really this old energy. Like you guys, I'm just keep hearing over and over again that this is old energy that you're moving out of, you're healing out from this. Because then we've then got the Eight of Pentacles, which is all around being able to lay foundation and then really seeing the fruits of your labor then come through, and also very much around becoming masters of your destiny, masters of your path, masters of, and also in your relationship. But once again, we've got this in the reverse. So really that this has really caused a lot of blockers between the two of you, which means your shadow really has been at play here, right? Is that your veils have been on, they've been kept on for a very good reason. I'm also always see two swans here as well, just to confirm that you guys are in a divine counterpart connection. The swans are always my soulmate symbol. When I see the two swans together, I always see two swans when I see that. You could also be dealing with the Aries too, so potentially fire sign. You could be a fire sign. Your masculine might also be a fire sign as well. All right, so just a lot of blocking energy here, right? Block. You guys have been unable to really close the gap here, really because of the shadow work you've had to do. So, which perfectly makes sense, right? All right, so, all right, however, despite this, we've got Student of Earth, right? So Student of Earth is the Page of Pentacles, which is all around new opportunities. It's a brand new opportunity that's about to come through to you, that is being granted to you, you know, around this white picket fence, which you've had this blockage. I feel like when I say white picket fence, I think that that's really going to resonate with this right collective. Really that white picket fence card, that real stable energy, that very stable relationship, because I think you've got a new offer coming here through. You've got this Student of Earth. In the reverse, Student of Earth is very much around lost opportunity, but in the upright, this is really around a new opportunity coming through. All right, I'm going to take this in the upright. It came through on the side. I'm going to take this in the upright, because this is what you're both, this is the High Priestess card, which is all around using your intuition. So I think that there is the fact that this has come up in the blocking row means that in this connection, neither of you have been listening to your intuition, right? Which then also gives me that Four of Cups card as well. You've both been so preoccupied with everything else, or you were at least. I don't think this is necessarily the case now, but you were at least so preoccupied with everything else that was going on in your life that neither of you were able to hear your intuition. But I think that this is really, and it's the fact that this is coming up under this emotional imbalance. There was a lot of emotional imbalance here. But this is what you're both learning to heal out, that you're both really developing your inner oracle is what I heard. And both, it's a very feminine card as well. So it's also very much a divine feminine card. But I think that this is what you're both working on. So to confirm everything else we've been talking about, which is very beautiful energy. Okay, so Strength in reverse. But there we go. There's the World card. There we go. So we've got, there we are. So despite the fact that you guys have had a real lack of strength here, you are actually stepping into a brand new cycle, which is why I feel that for the right collective, your intuition was telling you that there was, or you've been waiting for this message to come through. I do think that there is this new opportunity and this new cycle that's about to begin between the two of you. I think that both of you have really been doing a lot of inner child work here, a lot of shadow work. Okay, which it's great because then we've got the Four of Pentacles, which is very much, this came through just in the reverse, it popped through in the reverse. So Four of Pentacles is very much around, it's quite an obsessive card. So it's really around holding your cards quite close to your chest, but not allowing things to get away. It's a very obsessive card. It's a very obsessive thought patterns. It's really just I also get like quite a jealous feeling when I think about this card in this reading as well. But you're coming out of that energy. You're coming out of that obsessive thought pattern, right? So, which I think has been such a major blocker. It's what has really kept you guys apart, with that Three of Wands in reverse. You've been unable to close that distance between the two of you. And that probably was a lot to do with for the both of you, is that Four of Pentacles in the upright. But now you're coming out of that energy. You're actually getting rid of that obsessive thought pattern, which confirms with you as well, because you're also trying to develop new ways of thinking, right? Of how you are viewing this separation. And all of the healing that you're doing is flowing straight back through your masculine. Oh, beautiful energy. Okay. All right. And then so last, that's too many. Too many. Just one more, please. All right. Then we've got Eight of Cups. Lastly, but Eight of Cups in the Seven of Cups, not Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups would be the reason why I said that Eight of Cups is walking away from that does not serve you. So I think you're definitely both an Eight of Cups. The Seven of Cups is about making decisions, right? Is that it's also a lot of competing decisions as well. So I think that I'm hearing a couple of things for this. We've also got Pisces as well with the two fish. So, and I think Pisces water came up before, water sign came up before. But I think that this is both of you. I'm just hearing this is this masculine trying to make a plan. This is the planning card, trying to make that choice, trying to make that decision. I think he's trying to make the decision to come back through to you. Also, the fact that you were made to feel like there were a lot of options, right? Which is what's playing over in this masculine's mind a lot. But I really think that when I'm looking at this card for this reading, I really feel that this is the choice that the masculine is trying to make to come towards you. I definitely think that you've got something on the way. That's what I'm feeling. All right, what do I want to get? I wasn't going to. I want to get just a couple of the little black cards just to see if that's going to give us any more confirmation or not. All right, let's do it. Let's get the little black cards. Let's see if this gives us any more confirmation. But like I said, I do feel that you've got something coming. All right, little black cards, and then we'll finish the reading. One, two. Oh, there it is. There's a lightning card. And one more card, please. All right, so I'm going to pull this card up first. So you do have something coming. There's a lightning, so surprise, transformation. That's actually my card to say, like, it's going to leave you feeling like, oh my goodness. But it is that sudden news, that sudden reach out through from the masculine. It's just confirming what we've got here. All right, what else have we got? We've got, oh, so interesting. So that self-indulgent card came out again. So that, so exactly the same card. So focusing on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. That's what that masculine has been working through, and yourself as well. And then we've got that girl with the snake card. Right, and so then we've also got hands of cards. So I'm just hearing from the universe. The universe is not going to tell us anything more. Spirits are going to tell me any more than what they've already told me, because they're just telling, the cards are just repeating themselves now. So there's no new messages coming through. Because then we've got that girl with the snake coming through, which is what, ultimately led to you guys separating, which is what the masculine's working through. He's still holding his cards to his chest, but there is something coming through to you, right? There's something coming through with lightning. So, right, so that's it. That is it. I'm being told that that's the end of the reading. So it will be very interesting, to hear from you if you do. If this message does come through, it would be very interesting to hear from you. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I would ask if you have made it all the way through to the end. Well done, because this has been a really long reading. But if you have made it all the way through to the end, could you please like and subscribe to this channel? Obviously, it helps me, but given that I'm still such a brand new channel here on YouTube, it just helps these messages get out to those that really need to hear them. So it would be great if you could please support in that way. Beautiful. Okay, that's it for today. I will see you in the next reading.